My lovely students, welcome to Mathological. Let us start another important session for functions and graphs. And if you've not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well as press the bell icon. You can also join Telegram channel Mathological or can message me on Telegram at adityakt. So today's session is about trigonometric functions. We'll be discussing important graphs of sin x and cos x in today's session. Let us start with the graph of y is equal to sin x. Graph of sin of x is like a wave function. And value of sin x is always between -1 and 1. Minimum value is -1 and maximum value is +1. At 0, sin of x, sin of 0 is equal to 0 and maximum value is 1. At pi by 2 or 90 degrees, the value of sin x is equal to 1. Then at pi, again, the value becomes 0. 0 पे 0 है. Then at pi by 2, maximum value 1. And then at pi, again 0. And then with additional pi by 2, यानी कि at 3 pi by 2, the value is -1. And then again at 2 pi, the value is 0. And as we know, sine of minus x, this is equal to minus of sine x. Or since y is equal to sine x, or our function fx is equal to sine x, so if f of x is equal to sine of x, so sine of minus x, this will be equal to f of minus x, which is equal to minus of fx. So clearly, sine x is an odd function. This is an odd function. And odd functions are symmetric about origin. Symmetric about origin. Isn't it so? Clear? Our range of sin x is between -1 and 1. And this is the typical graph from 0 to 2 pi. And then the graph keeps on repeating on the left hand side as well as on the right hand side. तो एक डिटेल्ड ग्राफ बना लेते हैं. Maximum value is 1. Let's say this is the line y is equal to 1. And minimum value is -1. The graph is perfectly symmetric. Whatever asymmetry you are seeing is only because of my art. So at 0, this is 0. At pi, again 0. This is pi by 2. Then at 3 pi by 2, this is -1. At 2 pi, again 0. At 5 pi by 2, equal to 1. At 3 pi, again 0. At 7 pi by 2, -1. And at 4 pi, again 0. So at 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, or basically also at -pi, -2 pi, sine of x is always 0. यानी कि sine of n pi is equal to 0 if n is an integer. Sine of n pi is equal to 0 if n is an integer. Isn't it so? And then, since this is a periodic function as well, sine x is also a periodic function. Fx is equal to sine x. This is a periodic function. So this keeps on repeating, and the period of this function is 2 pi. So if we observe from from x is equal to 0, this is x equal to 0 line, and x equal to 2 pi. So between 0 and 2 pi, the value of the function is same as the value between 2 pi and 4 pi. This is period of the function sin x. Is this clear? Okay. Similarly, same is the behavior of with a graph from minus 2 pi to 0, because this is also the period. In general, sine of 2 pi plus x will be same as sine of x, because period क्या है हमारा 2 pi है. और further, sine of 2n pi plus x will also be equal to sine of x if n is an integer, because obviously 2 pi is the period of our function fx is equal to sine of x. Is that much clear? So sine of n pi is equal to 0. Additionally, sine of pi by 2 is equal to 1. Then 2 pi plus pi by 2 will also be equal to 1. Then 4 pi plus pi by 2 will also be equal to 1. Minus 2 pi plus pi by 2 will also be equal to 1. Or in general, sine of 2n pi plus pi by 2, this will be equal to 1 if n is an integer. And minus 1 at 3 pi by 2. So 2n pi plus 3 pi by 2, sine of 2n pi plus 3 pi by 2 will always be equal to minus 1 in the same scenario. Is that much clear? Now let us move to another function, that is y is equal to cos of x. Same as sin x, cos x is always between minus 1 and 1. Range is between minus 1 and 1. Maximum value 1 and minimum value is minus 1. Cos of 0 is equal to 1. So at 0, cos of x is equal to 1, and cos of minus x is equal to cos of x, or basically f of minus x. If fx is equal to cos of x, f of minus x will be equal to fx, and hence cos x is an even function. Even function, and all even functions are symmetric about y-axis. Symmetrical about y-axis. So that is why sine of cos of pi by 2 will be same as cos of minus pi by 2, and cos of pi by 2 is equal to 0, same is for minus pi by 2. Then cos of pi is equal to minus 1, 3 pi by 2 again 0, 2 pi is equal to plus 1, 5 pi by 2 0, 3 pi minus 1, and 7 pi by 2 again equal to 0. So in general, cos of 0 is equal to 1, cos of 2 pi is equal to 1, cos of 4 pi will also be equal to 1, and so on. So cos of 2n pi is equal to 1 if n is an integer. And similarly, cos of pi by 2 is equal to 0. So cos of 2n pi plus pi by 2, this will always be equal to 0. Or in general, since pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, तो n pi कर देते हैं, 2n pi ने, cos of n pi plus pi by 2, this is equal to 0. Is that much clear? So we've understood the functions cos of x and sin of x in that manner. And for minus 1, if we take cos of 2n plus 1 pi, that will always be equal to minus 1. 2n plus 1 times pi, that will always be equal to minus 1. Pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, minus 3 pi, minus 5 pi, and so on. So these values will always be equal to minus 1. We've understood the two functions, sin of x and cos of x. Let us do a few questions based on these. A few simple questions. So first question, if f of x is equal to sin of x, find a number of solutions of fx equal to 1 if mod of x is less than 10. Number of solutions of fx equal to 1 if mod of x is less than 10. Fx is equal to sin of x. Pause the video and try to solve it yourself first. Simple question. We need to find out fx equal to 1, and since fx is sin x, so sin of x equal to 1. Do we really need a graph for this? Sin of x equal to 1 and mod of x is less than 10. So as we've understood, sin of x equal to 1 कब होता है? At x equal to pi by 2. And next value will be at 2 pi plus pi by 2, यानी 5 pi by 2. So sin of x is equal to 1 at x equal to pi by 2 plus 2 and pi. And mod of x is less than 10. So x is basically between minus 10 and 10. But the value of angles is in terms of pi. So pi is almost equal to 3.14 or 22 by 7, 3.14. So 2 pi will be 6.28. 3 pi will be 9.42 roughly. 3 pi plus something, that is our limit. Similarly, minus 3 pi will be minus 9.42. तो क्या क्या solutions हो सकते हैं? One solution will be pi by 2. Next will be pi by 2 plus 2 pi. So 2 pi plus pi by 2, that will be 5 pi by 2. Almost 2.5 pi. 2.5 pi. ठीक है? Definitely less than 3 pi. Next value can be 9 pi by 2. But will 9 pi by 2 less than 10? Will 9 pi by 2 be less than 10 or not? 9 pi by 2 हो जाएगा हमारा 4.5 pi, which is definitely greater than 10. So this will not be the solution. Pi by 2, 5 pi by 2. अब subtract करते हैं on the other side, on the negative side. तो pi by 2 minus 2 pi, that will be minus 3 pi by 2, which is minus 1.5 pi. So basically हमारा x is between roughly 10, which is almost 3 pi plus something. 3 pi plus 0.58, जो कि roughly will be somewhat pi by 6. तो almost 3 pi plus pi by 6 है, तो definitely this is lesser. And similarly minus 3 pi minus pi by 6. Okay, not exactly pi by 6 but almost. Okay, so minus 3 pi by 2. Next value will be minus 3 pi by 2 minus 2 pi, so minus 7 pi by 2, which is minus 3.5 pi. This value is minus 3 pi minus pi by 2. Okay, which is definitely lesser than minus 3 pi minus pi by 6. So this value again will also be rejected. So only 3 solutions are possible: minus 3 pi by 2, pi by 2, and 5 pi by 2. 3 solutions are possible in this case. Is this clear? Okay. The graph in the range when mod x is less than 10 for sin x. Let us draw that graph as well. So pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, and then slightly larger. 10 will be somewhat larger than 3 pi. Slightly larger than 3 pi. Let us say this is x equal to 10. Similarly, minus pi, minus 2 pi, and minus 3 pi. So minus 10 will be somewhere here. And if this is y is equal to 1, this is y is equal to minus 1. The graph will be like. So to solve the question, we no need of the graph. This will be like this. Clear? Okay. Next question करते हैं. Next question. If fx is equal to cos of x, then find number of solutions of f of fx is equal to 1 if mod of x less than 10. Similar question, but this time we need to find out number of solutions of f of fx is equal to 1. This is not fx, this is f of fx. Interesting question. Pause the video, take your time, try to solve it. Fx is given as equal to cos of x. And we need to find out solutions of f of fx is equal to 1. Since fx is cos x, so we can say f of cos of x. We are replacing fx with cos of x. F of cos x is equal to 1. And f of cos x will be nothing but cos of cos x. Because cos of f of input is equal to 1 or input is equal to cos of x. और fx क्या है हमारा cos of x, यानी कि this will be cos of input, यानी कि cos of cos x, that is equal to 1. cos of cos x is equal to 1. So this value cos of x inside wala, since the range of cos x is between -1 and 1, so cos x will be lying between -1 and 1. Isn't it so? So cos of something is equal to 1. What can be that something? That something can be equal to 0, because cos of 0 degree, that is equal to 1. Cos of 0 is equal to 1. ठीक है, 0 degree नहीं रखते because we are measuring in radians. Cos of 0 is equal to 1. Next value कब आएगा? 1. Cos of n pi, तो cos of pi, cos of 2 pi, that is also equal to 1. Then cos of 4 pi, that is also equal to 1. Cos of -2 pi, that is also equal to 1. But the problem here is that we need to find out cos of cos x is equal to 1. So cos x is the input here. And cos x can only lie between -1 and 1. So cos of 2 pi के case में 2 pi is the input and 2 pi is basically 6.28. Cos of 6.28 is equal to 1. Cos of 0 is equal to 1. Cos of 12.56 is equal to 1. And cos of -6.28 is equal to 1, and so on. But clearly, the input in this case, the cos of x, that is input, is between -1 and 1. So definitely, ये case तो नहीं बनेगा अपना. The only case possible between -1 and 1 being the input will be when we are taking input equal to 0. Or basically graph for this function when input is between -1 and 1 for cos x will be somewhat like this. Graph of y is equal to cos of x. This is pi by 2, which is almost 1.57. This is minus pi by 2, which is almost minus 1.57. And our input, that is cos of cos x, so input cos x is between -1 and 1. So we are restricted. If this is equal to 1, -1, this is equal to 1. Our cause of concern is only this portion. Only this portion. And in this portion, cos of cos x is equal to 1 only at input equal to 0. So our solution will be when cos of x is equal to 0, then only cos of cos x, यानी कि cos of 0 will be equal to. Isn't it so? Or basically f of x equal to 1 only when f of x क्या होगा? This fx is input, f of fx is equal to cos of fx. F of x is equal to cos of fx, and cos of fx will be equal to 1 only when fx is equal to 0. Because fx cannot be equal to 6.28. fx हमारा is always between -1 and 1. fx cannot be equal to 6.28 or cannot be equal to -6.28 and so on. So clearly fx has to be equal to 0. We need to find out solutions for fx to equal to 0, same as in the previous question. क्या ये बात appreciate कर पा रहे? Let us draw the graph for cos of x. Or otherwise also we can solve it. Fx equal to 0, general solution will be, it will be 0 at pi by 2, at n pi plus pi by 2. So x must be equal to n pi plus pi by 2 for fx to be equal to 0. Mod of x is less than 10, यानी कि x is between -10 and 10. So first solution will be at n equal to 0, that is equal to pi by 2. अच्छा, सेम ही तो केस बन रहा है, सेम एज लास्ट क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज व्हेन sin x इज इक्वल टू 1, लास्ट क्वेश्चन में हमने क्या किया था? अच्छा, यहाँ पे sin x इक्वल टू 1 था. यस, sin x इज इक्वल टू 1, देन cos of x इज इक्वल टू 0. बट व्हेन sin x इज इक्वल टू -1, इवन देन cos of x इज इक्वल टू 0. तो pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, these values, and then 7 pi by 2 is 3.5 pi, which is greater than 10. This will not be the solution. Then minus pi by 2, minus 3 pi by 2, and minus 5 by 2. Since cos x is a symmetrical function, so these 6 will be the solutions. These 6 will be the solutions. 3 in the positive side and 3 on the negative side. So there will be total 6 solutions as such, because we need to find out number of solutions. So number of solutions in this case will be equal to 6. Clear? Fair enough? Is this understood? Now let's move to the next question. Also, comment about this question, whether you like this question or not, whether you understood this completely, or if there is a doubt still, then make sure to comment about that doubt as well. This was a good question. So this will take some time. It takes some time. We'll also do some one or two similar questions on this concept, f of x or something like that. We'll also do one graphical question on this. Okay. Chalo, next question. Next question is, find number of solutions of 5 sin x minus x is equal to 1. Number of solutions of 5 sin x minus x is equal to 1. How many solutions will be there? Now, we cannot directly solve it as an equation, but we know for sure that sin x is between minus 1 and 1. If we take x on the right hand side, so we can write this as 5 times sin x. This is equal to x plus 1. Or we can write sin of x is equal to x plus 1 divided by 5. Now this is the equation for which left hand side sin x is between minus 1 and 1. So right hand side will also be between minus 1 and 1 because equality is there. So x plus 1 by 5. This will be between minus 1 and 1 multiplied by 5. So this becomes minus 5 less than equal to x plus 1 less than equal to 5. Subtract by 1. So minus 6 is less than equal to x less than equal to 4. X will be between minus 6 and 4. X will be between minus 6 and 4. So our concern is between minus 6 and 4. How many times sin x will be equal to x plus 1 by 5? How many such cases will be there? Okay, let us draw the graph of sin x between minus 6 and 4. Sin of x is equal to x plus 1 by 5. We will be making two graphs. One graph will be y for y is equal to sin of x, and the other graph will be for y is equal to x plus 1 by 5. And then we need to find out the points of intersection of these two graphs. This is pi, this is 2 pi, and 2 pi is 6.28, and we need x between minus 6 and 4. So 3.14 is already at pi. So roughly x equal to 4 will be somewhere here. Minus pi, minus 6 and 4. Okay, so that's ज़्यादा बड़ा हो गया. Instead of 1, this is reaching 1.5. Let's draw it properly. This is minus 2 pi, which is roughly minus 6.28. So 6 will be somewhere here before this. X equal to minus 6 will be before this, because we need x between minus 6 and 4. Okay. This is 1, this is minus 1. Now we need second graph, that is for y is equal to x plus 1 by 5. At x equal to 0, y will be equal to 1 by 5. Y is equal to 1 by 5. And at x equal to 4, this will be y will be equal to 1. this line is the graph. And at x equal to minus 6, this will be y will be equal to minus 1. So this will be our graph. ठीक है, अगर चेक करना है तो at x equal to minus pi or minus 3.14, the graph will be minus 3.14 plus 1, which is again negative. So definitely this will be below x-axis. Graph will be below x-axis, so it will be intersecting below x-axis. Otherwise also it is definitely intersecting the graph of y is equal to sine of x. So there are three intersection points. One is here, second point, and third point. Three intersection points, and hence there are three solutions for sine x is equal to x plus 5, x plus 1 by 5. Three solutions are there. In this range, there are three solutions. Is this clear? Okay. So these are all the questions in this session. I believe whatever we discussed was easy to understand, or definitely after the detailed solution, you understood the concept. If there is any doubt whatsoever, make sure to comment about that doubt and also give a feedback कि तुम्हें session कैसा लगा. That is all for this session. Bye bye. Take care. Keep learning and make sure to subscribe to the channel as well as press the bell icon and like this session as well. Give a feedback in the comments. Take care. Keep learning.